I've got some breaking news for you. All with big spoilers, although it may not be so much of a spoiler and breaking news if you're keeping up with the entertainment news, especially when it comes to comics. I was just waiting until it was confirmed, and then I said, okay, let me do this video. Now, in a previous video, I told you about how Zeb Wells talked about in his upcoming Amazing Spider-Man number 26 is going to be the most controversial comic for Spider-Man in 50 years, that he was warned by the editors and things not to do comic conventions after this issue came out because people are going to be so pissed at him. And everybody was, people were thinking maybe he's going to kill off Mary Jane. And I mean, considering what he's done to that character, I honestly think people might be happy because, oh my God, it is just awful what he's done to Mary Jane. Or they were saying, maybe he might kill Peter Parker. And to be honest, at this point, putting Peter Parker out of his misery would pretty much be a mercy. Honestly, would pretty much be a mercy at this point. Or maybe he was going to kill off Paul and the kids, and people might celebrate that because just how useless addition they are. But people were thinking all kinds of stuff and what was going to happen and all of this and that and the other. Well, it's been leaked, shockingly leaked online. I'm sure Marvel had nothing to do with this, but it's been leaked, and we know who's going to die in Amazing Spider-Man number 26. Now, hold on to your seats for this one, people. The person who's going to die in Amazing Spider-Man number 26 is Ms. Marvel. Yeah. Nobody cares. Literally nobody cares. I mean, you couldn't get people to care less about that, honestly. Like, really? Ms. Marvel? That's your big shocker in 50 years, Ms. Marvel? I mean, let's be honest here. Okay, Ms. Marvel's Disney Plus show was the lowest rated MCU show on Disney Plus ever. I called it early on that show was garbage and I stopped. Nobody was watching it. As for her comics, they don't sell. Literally nobody buys Ms. Marvel comics. I mean, okay, let me rephrase that. Now, Ms. Marvel may have her fans. I'm not going to say no. She may very well have her fans. But honestly, out of a group of, let's say you have 100 people, you might find 10 who kind of like to read her comics once in a while. That's pretty much it. Nobody likes the character. You introduced her some years ago. From what I understand, when they first introduced Ms. Marvel, people thought, okay, it was kind of interesting, and then she just quickly became an annoying pain in the neck that nobody cared about. Nobody's interested in this character. And they have literally rebooted her comics at about close to a dozen times by now. It does nothing for the sales. They keep putting her in with other heroes, hoping that it's going to make her popular or something like that. They had that whole Avengers video game thing that came out the other day. They made her the center point of the star of the video game. That crashed and burned. Nobody's buying her stuff. Nobody's interested in Ms. Marvel. And she's been in Amazing Spider-Man. In the last year that Zeb Wells started his run, she's kind of been in the background, just hanging around there once in a while. And now it's happened and, it's confirmed that she's going to die. So let me go through some of the information that we've gotten so far this year on AIPT. You see it here. Spider-Man with Ms. Marvel's body there, and I think I'm gonna go down so you could see a little better. Now, what they're planning to do with this thing is that when she dies, coming out in July, they're going to be doing this whole Marvel #1 fallen friend, the death of Ms. Marvel. This cover, this looks stupid. You have her there, you have Spider-Man in the center there, you have the Thing, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Iron Man, and Wolverine. Why would these people be there? why does Spider-Man look so devastated? I mean, it's not to say like he and Ms. Marvel were like, in some kind of relationship or that they were long time friends for years. No, they're basically kind of acquaintances. That's pretty much it. They're basically kind of acquaintances. They're trying to drum this up and play it off like it's supposed to be something like the death of Superman. Well, I can tell you that there are 3 reasons why that is never going to happen. 1, Superman is actually a liked character. Superman is most likely the most famous superhero in the world. You understand me? Most famous superhero in the world. Barely anybody knows who Ms. Marvel is, and even less people care. 2, when Death of Superman happened, this is actual fact, when Death of Superman happened, newspaper purchases for that day when that comic came out hit an all-time low, because people were buying the comics. They wanted to know what was going to happen with Superman. How did Superman die? What's going on? Would he be coming back? Who killed him? All these things they were interested in. I can guarantee you nobody cares about this. Literally nobody cares about this. Marvel is trying to drum it up to kind of boost sales and make you think that you're kind of interested in it. And thirdly, when Superman died, people were wondering, is he going to come back? They were saying, of course, they're going to have to bring him back. When will that happen? What's it going to be? Maybe he might stay dead. Maybe they're going to protect her. People weren't 100% sure. Everybody knows that they're going to bring her back. Everybody knows it. Nobody stays dead in Marvel Comics anymore, unless, of course, you're Uncle Ben. That's pretty much it. But unless you're Uncle Ben, nobody else stays dead. And one thing that is going around, one rumor that is floating around, and I think it may very well to do this, is that what we're saying is that, they're probably going to resurrect her using the X-Men. That's why you see Wolverine here. Because for those who aren't keeping up to date with the X-Men comics, and you're rightful for not doing so, the X-Men now, well, mutants in general don't die anymore. The X-Men could resurrect. Well, here's the thing about it. When it started off with the whole Krakoan era and the Krakoan island kind of thing, they could bring back mutants who have died. Now they could pretty much bring back anybody. And keep in mind, in the Ms. Marvel TV series, they said that, she's probably the first mutant now. So it's possible what they're looking to do is have her resurrected by the X-Men as a mutant, sort of, and then they will change her powers to suit what's going on in the TV series, because they're going to bring her back by most likely the fall, because that's when the Marvels come out, and they're just doing this as a cheap stunt to drum up some kind of support for it. That's it. She's not going to stay there. Everybody knows that. This is just another cheap, ridiculous, bold-faced attempt by Marvel to just act like, this is going to be something. Well, let me get into this article here from Bounding Into Comics, where they talk about how, Ms. Marvel's Death and Amazing Spider-Man number 26 upsets and baffles. Well, they use the term fans loosely here, because, once they did this, the Twitter stands went crazy. I'm going to go through some of this, what they have to say here. In April, Amazing Spider-Man writer Zeb Wells teased fans by claiming his issue number 26 would be so controversial that his editor told him not to do any comic conventions once this issue comes out, right? I already go through most of that. I mean, who wants to see this? This is the thing here. We have Peter. Well, who wants to see this? You have Peter Parker here with Ms. Marvel's dead body, and you have Mary Jane hanging up Paul. Like, anybody supposed to care about that? Norman Osborn, who is now reformed and is the Gold Goblin, because if I'm not mistaken, the Sin Eater ate all his sins. And plus we have the Fantastic Four here, and they're all so sad, like that's supposed to stick. What are you gonna do? But it's a waste of time. I'm gonna get to the part I want to overwrite. Okay, so we'll go through this piece here. Wells had done enough damage to Mary Jane as a character during the run set up in issue number 1, where Mary Jane is shown with children from another man. It's later revealed that she was trapped in an alternate dimension where time moved at a different rate, and so she had her children and eventually came back. Peter, meanwhile, continued to follow her around like a sad puppy dog in one of the cringiest iterations of their relationship. Now, I have a video coming up about where you guys actually get to see what happened with Mary Jane during this time that she was in this other dimension. That, oh God, is it bad? Like I'm telling you, they're written as Zebels that really one out of his way to ruin Spider-Man. I have to tell you that. What? Right, so they always talk about the whole time, you know, they killed Mary Jane before in Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2, having Mary Jane become a victim in a plane crash. When she was brought back, the editorial mandated the marriage be axed again with a notorious one more day, or as I like to call it, one bad day storyline, which fans say ruined Spider-Man continuity forever. Yeah, because they just don't like Spider-Man. That's it. The reveal of the Ms. Marvel that has been underwhelming after such a build-up of suspense. Well, yeah, they talk about how she's going to come back because the Marvel's coming on later this year, so all of that, no problem, right? So let's get to the lunatics online who Marvel intentionally rile up for these things, and because these people don't seem to realize that they are being used by Marvel specifically for this. Let's start on with some of them, right? Hey, so what the F was Zeb Wells and Nick Lowe thinking by killing off Kamala Khan, the only mainline brown character Marvel has in a Spider-Man book? Shit feels racist and misogynistic. And why on earth was she even in this in the first place? Now, that last slide is the only thing in this entire deluded, crazy rant that makes any sense. Why was she in this? Because they just keep moving her around from book to book to try to make her popular, even though she isn't. The fact that you're out here talking about how, you know, you're killing off this character, the only mainline brown character, because that's all you see. If you all were actually buying the book, maybe they wouldn't have killed her, but no, you weren't doing that, and they just need some cheap stunt, so that's what they do. Let's go on and have more. You know what? This is racism and sexism, knowing Zeb Wells. And another one here. Notice how Peter effing Parker is the one in the center, as if he's the one suffering the most, not her parents or friends or actual mentors. Peter Benjamin Parker, fridging one of your most popular female characters in 2023 is a new low Marvel, justice for Ms. Marvel. No, like I pointed out, this makes no sense with Peter Parker here because, you know, he's never been that close with Ms. Marvel, what they're trying to do. I mean, I believe that Ms. Marvel is with the champions. You don't see them here because these people they have here, these people here, except for Captain Marvel, who's always the rest of them. It's just they're just using this to try and drum up some kind of support, but it's not sticking at all. It's not happening. Understand me? And go on now. But not everyone is upset by the death. Veteran comic artist Ethan Van Sciver couldn't be happier. This is what he tweeted out. Hooray, Kamala Khan, aka Ms. Marvel, the worst character Marvel Comics ever excreted, is finally dead. Right, no. He's kind of right, because when you look at Ms. Marvel, whenever I see her portrayed as having these giant hands, you know, these big fists, they never do anything with the character. She's never been, in my opinion, interesting in any way. Her costume looks terrible, and she's just a self-insert for her creator. That's it. Now, with this post that Ethan Van Sciver put out here, again, as I say, the Twitter stands went crazy. Well, one took it a little too far. Let's get into this person here, Blake Worrell, screenshot the whole thing, a full story arc in just 4 images, right? Let me go through this and go see this person, Harper versus Evil Dead. This is what this person had to say. After Ethan Van Sciver made this thing, hooray, Kamala Khan, aka Ms. Marvel, the worst character Marvel Comics ever excreted, is finally dead. Yeah, this is what Harper versus Evil Dead had to say. I think you should kill yourself personally. That's what this individual decides to say to Ethan Van Sciver. He should go and off himself. Well, he then reported you and account suspended. That's justice right there for being stupid. That's it. My take on this, nobody is going to be bothered by this. Nobody is going to be, worried over what they're attempting to do with this Ms. Marvel thing. We all know it's just a cheap, pathetic ploy, and they're going to bring her back because nobody stays dead in Marvel Comics anymore. Overall, this is a very underwhelming thing. Nobody's excited. People were thinking, it could have been somebody else. But they could have just wiped out Spider-Man entire family and everything and done and just get rid of this crap as far as I'm concerned. But no, you killed off Ms. Marvel, the character that most people have gotten eye strain from rolling their eyes every time she shows up. And we all know she's going to come back in the fall because why? The Marvels is coming out and and this whole thing is just another ploy to drum up some kind of feedback for that pathetic looking movie. Waste that time. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell, notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.